Hello and welcome to this Thursday's live Kriegspiel game with the International Kriegspiel Society. We are doing the Battle Above the Clouds, or the Battle of Chattanooga. Um, we'll see if it gets above the clouds today or not. And I am here with Sherman to start. So it is the morning. What's today's date? I can't remember if I gave a date or not. November 24th. I'm kind of late in the season. But we are in Georgia. No, Tennessee, Georgia. So um, it's still warmish. But it is November 24th, 8 a.m. A crossing has been secured across the Tennessee River with pontoon bridges. You have one second division has already crossed and secured a bridgehead, mostly unopposed. The Confederate skirmishers were scared off, and yeah, I guess that's about it. What are your orders?
Wait, do I still see Confederate skirmishers in the distance, or are they
No, they fled.
okay? Um, then I'd like to have the troops that are across the river advance in the direction that they're facing, anchoring their flank on the South Chickamauga, and then I'd like to bring the rest of my army across the river
So they're
as
heading due east, keeping close to the Chickamauga Creek.
yeah.
Okay, got it. And the rest are starting to cross. What about yourself?
I'm sorry. In the screenshot, I can't quite see.
You
I'm in the
were
middle there.
you're in the south end of it.
Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah. I'd like to cross over with the man.
Okay, all right, got it. Thank you. All right, General Hardy. It
Hey,
is November 24th, 1863. Coldish morning, 8 o'clock, and there looks to be some excitement today. You see a lot of movement and activity in the Union camp around Chattanooga, uh, and Bragg has ordered you to get ready for battle. So, what are your orders?
um, no orders at the moment. Right now, my intention is to observe the Union movements from the top of Missionary Ridge. My only important point is to make sure that Hardy is doing whatever his headquarters needs to do to maintain concealment as he's near the ridge and avoid being detected by the Union forces in the valley.
Okay, so look over the ridge, but don't get seen. Okay, got it. Thank you.
I'm sorry?
No, nothing. I got it. Thank you.
Oh, and just I would just also send a note to Cheatham that he needs to report any Union activity that his screens to the north see east of Missionary Ridge as soon as possible.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Uh,
I believe. I
so
think James
basically,
wants
so
some
basically, second, the church will not move this turn.
church will not. Church with the artillery will not move this turn.
Yep.
Okay. Um. Okay. So, which artillery were you moving then? Because I think I got
Mine,
confused.
the one's
Yours,
labeled 14.
14th. Okay. So
Yeah.
not okay. Understood. That's going to be here. All right. Done.
All right, that's all my stuff.
Cool. For the other two, who wants to go first? Thomas and Palmer.
I am Paul. You already got Palmer.
Oh, sorry. God. Grant and Thomas. My bad.
I'm Grant, and I don't have any troops of my own, so I'll have no particular orders at this time. I gave my orders to Sherman and Thomas, and they're implementing them.
All right. Then Thomas.
You there, J-Rock? Must be AFK. Will you give orders for him, Grant?
Oh,
Who?
thing was muted.
Oh.
I'll be moving to inspect the lines of Gary and Hooker.
Gary and Hooker. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Grant and Palmer. Did you guys want to stay still, or did you want to move up with the line as it's?
I'm moving up behind my center division.
Yep. You're right. There it is. Or not, Grant. Grant, are you staying where you are?
No, I'll go with him.
All right. Leave. All right. Is that all for everybody?
Yeah, believe so.
All right.
Okay.
That was certainly an experience. Had a whole exchange regarding whose artillery was whose there for a moment.
I basically have a whole lot of nothing.
Very fun.
Like the biggest movement is a cavalry moving to a closer position to Lookout Mountain.
All right. All right. Any questions on screenshot sizes? It's now 8.
Yes.
Yeah.
I was asked if people on the lookout station can get a seat to the lookout station on Missionary Ridge.
Yes. At least for the flag signals, not for the screenshot.
Okay.
But you saw the screenshot I gave Brad because he's at the kind of the point of the mountain where you can see everything. So he's got a pretty big one where he's at. And then
I see.
for
what you
Palmer
put
and
down.
Grant, you could probably give them a little bit more than like up to the ridge. So the Confederates are supposed to be hiding. So I'd give them up to the ridge line.
All right.
Where they're at.
Okay. Let's see. And yeah, the other thing is, when would I show anything on top of Lookout Mountain? Like when they're halfway up, or when they take positions
For whom?
for Granger?
So Granger wouldn't see anything unless the Confederate line like came to the upper edge of it. Then he'd see that. But otherwise, he's just gonna kind of see up to that black, red dotted line.
Okay, perfect. Let's start with him then.
20-minute turns, right?
Yep.
Good lord, please, computer function. And I gotta start deleting some of these umpire screenshots. Trying to clog up my computer, dog.
Oh, do you save them and then insert them?
Yeah, I save them and then insert them.
I just copy straight from the snip tool.
Yeah, also.
No. Nah, that works.
Let's see, Palmer. Do you want me to do some of them? One of them?
I got.
Now Grant moved to the left, so he shouldn't have gotten the screenshot of that side.
Did he now?
Oh no, that was Thomas, wasn't it?
Yeah. Or not. Yeah, it was Thomas that
Sorry,
moved.
that was my bad.
Because Grant and Palmer are still in the same location.
I can do Thomas real fast.
Alright.
Need to add Breckenridge to my naughty list. Naughty, naughty. Okay, I'm gonna go get my orders. So
All right, I'll go
8:20.
and get mine. I need to move.
All right, General Sherman. So 17th Corps has marched out heading east. No issues. You do hear artillery fire far to the south, but nothing nearby. You yourself cross the pontoon bridge with 15th Corps coming in behind you. And that's about it. What are your orders?
Can I have basically I want to create parallel. Can I have the troops that are coming over now basically march in parallel to where my lead units are marching, um, as they come up, and then just have everyone keep following that parallel line forward.
I'm not sure what you mean by that.
Um, Sorry, I'm not explaining this well. Can I just have them basically not parallel? Just basically I want everyone to keep following the column of the troops that are marching.
Yeah, we can do that.
I explained that terribly. Sorry.
Okay, where are you going?
I'm keeping my position in the column.
Okay. Oops. All right. Thank you. All right, General Hardy. You, from your vantage point atop the ridge, you can see Federal infantry marching a long line of it, maybe over a mile long, marching eastward directly towards the ridge.
Oh, really? It didn't look like they moved at all to me.
They're moving.
Um,
It's not great
and
terrain. It's marshy and foresty and crisscrossed with creeks, so it's a bit slow.
so they're all coming straight towards me.
Looks like it.
All right. Uh, can you give me? Can I estimate from my position how long it would take them for them to get to the ridge?
Mm, let's see. About an hour.
An hour. Okay, an hour from now.
Yeah.
All right, I am going to do nothing. I have a suspicion that maybe they've spotted my headquarters, or I don't know if they've planned on this all along, but I'm going to wait a little bit longer and see.
Okay.
Do I have? Can I confirm? Does Cheatham have the screens detached near Mrs. McGill's farm, which is northeast of Cheatham's position?
Yep, he does.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna sit tight for the moment here. Keep observing the progress of the Federals. I will put in a letter to Bragg.
Okay.
Thank you.
Sorry, Thomas was AFK. I got his stuff in though. He's just moved the second division up.
Remember, if they're in line off road, it's about 2.5 per
Yeah,
turn.
I think I got him 3.
And if it's difficult terrain at all, like forests or crossing a creek or anything, it'll be 1.25.
Yeah. Being more in line with that.
Hi. So do the Union troops in the center move at all?
Yeah, they're moving.
Those not really. He ordered an advance on this side, but can't move very fast because he's in line on open terrain and difficult terrain. So
Well, the cavalry is not supposed to hold against an attack. They are to do a fighting retreat. I'm not sure if I should do it now or if I should do it like if Union
I
troops
think
are
that
moving.
I think that they would hold if the Union troops weren't advancing at all.
Yeah,
Like,
I think they'd stay
Yeah.
for at least a little longer.
mhm.
Okay. On the other hand, my General Granger is moving up the mountain with only the cavalry.
Oh, all right. Cavalry attack up a mountain.
They're using the trails, but I have them in column now going up there.
Hang on.
Um,
How far can
How
the
fast
cavalry
can
move?
the cavalry go up those trails is now the question.
Yeah, they could.
Like how fast?
I would say. Let's see. What do we normally do? Cavalry's 2 miles in a turn, but for these trails, I'd say like maybe half a mile, like 5-ish to 7 grids per turn.
Do you think these ones in the north would form into column? I don't think they would because of the threat of a cavalry charge while you're marching in column.
Yeah, I don't think they
But
would.
yeah, that's what I thought.
All right, 840.
40, let's screenshots.
Oh, quick question. I got a dispatch to Sherman from Palmer. How long will that take to arrive?
To Sherman.
Yeah, it's
Um,
about it was sent from back over
I
here.
do have a direct line. Actually, that's you probably just deliver it the next turn. It'll be all right.
All right, cool.
I make a 2-turn delay for my dispatches of the Union side.
All right. Right.
Yes.
Now that they're on top of the Orchard Knoll, would Palmer have a little bit better sight line?
Um, he wouldn't see past Missionary Ridge. Still,
Yeah, no, but oh yeah, you're right.
just up to the edge of it.
Yeah, and I gotta go and confirm something with Grant.
Bragg to Hardy, is that instant?
Bragg to Hardy. Um, if it's a flag signal, yes.
Uh,
Is it simple enough we could call it a flag signal?
uh, mm,
I was gonna give him some
yes,
rules.
I say that's easy enough to
Yeah.
do as a flag signal.
Maybe let them know if they keep it short, it can be a quick flag signal. I was gonna give him some rules and I forgot to. So
I will agree that is a flag signal. Okay, let's get a screenshot of nothing happening.
that was weird. Okay, I'm gonna get my All right, General Sherman. So the
Oh,
column
sorry.
continues marching eastward. You can barely make out the front of 17th Corps has reached Boyce Station and is crossing around or through the north end of Missionary Ridge. You continue to hear artillery fire to the south-southwest, far in the distance. It all remains pretty quiet up here.
All right. So, from Boise station, I'd like Boise. Sorry, you just said it. Whichever that station, from there, I'd like the column to move down Missionary Ridge. Have them deploy skirmishers forward and be ready to engage. As they start moving up the ridge. I'd personally like to ride back to the unit that is currently crossing the bridge, and I'd like to guide them in basically a southeast direction. Yeah, in a southeast direction towards Missionary Ridge in that direction.
Got it. Okay. Thank you. All right, General Hardy. The enemy line. Actually, I'm not sure if they moved or not. Does it look like they moved? Let's look at your screenshots. No, doesn't look like it. Yeah, it looks like the line has stopped. But you do receive word from Cheatham that some of he's heard word that Sherman's Corps has crossed the pontoon bridge across the Tennessee to the north and is headed towards Boyce Station, which is about 4 miles north of you.
Yeah, they're just out in the middle of nowhere, aren't they? Yeah, this is an interesting situation. Can I ask a few questions?
Sure.
Is there evidence based on the Union movements that they're expecting battle here on the ridge, or are they just kind of advancing in a very kind of standard fashion?
I could not tell you that.
Okay. Can you tell me if they were on the ridge, would they be able to scale the ridge, or would they need to take the trails to get over, basically?
It is scalable, although it's obviously difficult terrain. It's not easy to get up, but it is possible.
Okay. All right. It's risky, but I'm going to do something crazy. I'm going to order Buckner's division to march. I want him to advance west. That's the division. That's the third one down in the screenshot there.
Mm-hmm.
I want him to advance west down the trail of Missionary Ridge, and then immediately turn south and march towards Walker's position. I want him to take up a position behind Walker in reserve.
Okay.
And he should move at the double quick. That's it.
All right. I'm just making those movements. And you're staying where you're at?
I'm staying where I'm at.
All right. Let's see.
Okay. We're done.
I guess those rebels will shoot the cavalry. See where are the dice?
Here's some. Oops.
Ah, perfect, thank you. I only need the red die for now. How much of a bonus would we give them for shooting at a column from the top?
+1, I'd say.
Okay.
So what's
And
that?
I probably have to roll a die for Granger if he gets injured.
Yeah, I would give him 1. Union has a very cautious attack going in so far.
Yeah, I'm very curious about that, but
Maybe they're waiting for Sherman to get in on the flank, just kind of biding their time,
that's what I think the plan is.
which is actually working.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Hardy, so I gave Hardy a heads up from scouts that he's coming, but his reaction was to send Buckner south. So I don't know.
Okay, now. What's a 4 again on the injury table?
4 on injury would be minor injury. So not
Let's put a 1 on that.
it doesn't black him out or anything, just grazing shot or something.
Okay.
Remind him of his mortality.
Okay. Otherwise, all those Confederate infantries are entrenching.
Okay. 9 o'clock screenshots.
Log screenshots. Give Granger a surprise here.
Alright, go get my updates. Alright, General Sherman, you make your way back and join with 2nd Division of 15th Corps and direct them to take the road more southeast than what the rest of the column has been doing. You still hear artillery fire to the south and nothing else.
All right. Well, let's keep the army coming across, and we will keep advancing towards the ridge.
Okay. So the one you're with now is heading southeast towards the ridge.
Yeah.
And are you staying with them?
Yeah, I'll stay with him.
Now you see that there's an intersection coming up. Do you turn left on that and go east, or which direction do you take?
Yeah. Go east.
And is the other column, the last division that's crossing 4th Division, are they to follow this path as well?
Yes.
And the artillery's staying with 1st Division.
Yeah.
Your 2nd.
I figure that'll be better for them to be able to set up on the heights.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. All right. The Union line. So your orders go out for Buckner to head south, which you can see he is. The Union line is advancing slowly. From what you can see, you can hear artillery fire to the west, more directly south of Chattanooga, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it. My heart is broken a little bit. I had intended for Buckner's division to go cross Missionary Ridge before turning south, but I can see that he's already headed that way. So,
Oh, you wanted him to be seen doing?
I wanted him to be seen. Yeah, I was
Oh,
trying to use that division to.
he misunderstood your orders.
Yeah, I can see. It is what it is. I don't think I have any choice but to head south. So I'm gonna order Hinman to start making his way south now along the trail, and for Cheatham be prepared to follow him shortly.
All right.
There's no need for Buckner to move at double pace at this point.
Okay. And you're staying where you're at.
I will stay here for now, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Guess I can roll the artillery combat. Whole lot of nada.
Continue with current standing orders.
Okay.
Yeah, get Gary in there. Also, I will shift the. I can't really tell. Hooker's 2nd Division over to fill in the gap Gary's leaving next to the 1st Division battery, our
Okay.
core battery. And I will be sending a dispatch to Granger.
All right. Is that all?
Yes. That
If you need me to, I can take one of your people, because mine are pretty fast in their orders.
If you could take Thomas, that would be great, actually.
Yeah, I can do that. What is he commanding? The 2 corps near him?
The 2 corps in the south, yeah, believe,
Okay.
uh, what are they? Geary and Hooker.
Yeah.
So, okay, now Wheeler is ordered to retreat. I guess the front line will retreat next turn.
Sure.
See what I can do here in the back.
I already rolled for the artillery in the middle, so.
That's why I assumed is when what would happen when the order arrive. So that's fine. Just moved all the back units already, so reduce traffic later on. And I guess those two still can fire. We have an injured marker somewhere lying around.
Besides the morale marker?
Yes, because that cavalry unit doesn't look good.
Oh, yeah, let me give you some options. Let's
Okay.
see, objects.
Yeah, I have one saved. That's
I got a damage marker.
I have it. Good.
Can also use this or this. Or zombies. Just kidding. Alright, 920. Screenshots. Oh, I got Thomas. Gotta do his screenshot.
Oh, and Breckenridge showed up now.
Oh, he did?
Yes.
Okay, so you got him, Langbert.
Yes, I have him.
And Thomas is with Grant now.
Yes, correct.
You want to take since they're co-located? Want to
Yeah, I can do their thing.
just if Thomas is separated, I'll take him.
Yeah. Alright, so first to Palmer. To Almond. Ah, got him. Alright.
All right, General Sherman. So you lead the 2nd Division up into towards the ridge, where you can spot elements of 17th Corps, 2nd Division, marching along the ridgetop. The 4th Division is almost across the pontoon bridge, and artillery fire can still be heard to the southwest. That hadn't really changed. Smith
The-
of the 17th Corps reports he's making good progress and has not encountered any Confederate forces still.
Okay. No particular change in the intensity of that cannon fire. It's just like pretty consistent, like heavy cannon fire. Would you say, or
It is consistent. I would say, if you had to guess, it's maybe only 20 to 30 cannon.
okay? Yeah, I'd like to ride up to the front of my whole, ride up the ridge to the front of my whole column and try to get somewhere where I have a good vantage point. South of my current position on the ridge, and just keep the troops moving down the ridge.
Okay. All right, General Hardy. You can see Hindman is starting to move south as ordered. Cheatham is waiting. The Union line continues to advance eastward towards the ridge in your position. Artillery fire to the west continues. And you get a dispatch from Buckner that he is near Rossville and close to deploying behind Walker. You there? Oh, you're muted.
Whoop, my bad. Sorry. Thank you. What sort of unreasonable request might it be for me to ask Cheatham's troops basically just to about face, and instead of following Hinman's division, for him to take the road? How can I describe this road? The road um, along Spring Creek. Spring Creek being to the southeast of those divisions.
Yep, that's doable.
So basically, I want him to take that road and head towards Rossville via McAfee Church. So just basically it's the next parallel road to the one north-south road near the Missionary Ridge, heading towards Rossville.
Okay. And are you staying here? Or?
Nah, yeah, I'll stay here. I'll see what there is to see here. Let's see what these Yankees do.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thanks.
We're not 100% sure yet.
I see. I see.
James, do you want to take Thomas, or I'm already here?
No, go ahead.
Palmer
Go
took.
for it. I'm done listening.
Okay. All right. Thomas, remind me again. You said artillery. Where did you want them again, precisely?
Gary's artillery to set up along the river line ahead of the second division. Second
All right.
division that's redeploying. Just make sure the infantry doesn't cover up First Corps' artillery batteries.
All right. And I presume the 12th Corps ordered standing orders, advancing as they have been. All right.
Thomas, let me ask why our rightmost flanking unit isn't advancing, or I mean, is it advancing? The one that's along the actual river.
You mean Hooker?
I mean the division or brigade, whichever it is, that
Yeah,
is
that would
actually
be
hanging
Hooker.
its right flank. Yeah, the one, the specific piece that's hanging its right flank into the river. It seems like it could make an advance and outflank some of that enemy artillery down there.
Well, it was going to be a thing of discussion until who is it? Granger sent me a message saying that they're actually fortified over towards his position further right. So I don't want to move out of position where I have the river crossing itself. Besides, the cavalry sent off half his force, and I have no idea where they went.
Okay.
How you doing, Lingbart? Oh, and James is here too.
I'm just listening
Oh,
in.
cool. Well, your cavalry is retreating fast now. The rear unit has taken a severe beating, uh, and is now broken. You are yourself managed to get out of range. Your infantry and artillery retakes their positions.
Nice. It's really unfortunate that the cavalry had to suffer to find out this information. On the other hand, I just received orders to do exactly what I did, so I think I'm in the clear.
Okay. So what are your orders now, please?
Is the artillery able to fire upon the infantry? I know it's a terrible shot, honestly, but I'm curious if I could at least lay down some sort of fire upon them.
It's out of range.
That's is James' call.
Yeah, I thought so. Okay. The second question I have is there any terrain where my infantry is currently located that is out of the line of sight of the enemy due to, say, foliage or just, anything really?
You can try those green areas, but not really.
Yeah, I figured everything is just in sight.
Yeah, they're pretty high up. They got a great view.
Yep. It's just really unfortunate. Okay, well that's okay. That's fine. I'm going to order a second division to form into column and start moving towards Chattanooga via the southern portion of the Tennessee River. I think this is south. I assume the bottom is south.
Yep.
Okay. Where do you want to go? Where should they go? So you want to go up to the ferry and then go over to
He wants
Chattanooga?
them to do
No, I'm
that.
going to try to move over to J. Fryer House, which is like east of my position. And then just kind of move by. I think there's a railroad that we track that we could just kind of follow.
Yep.
Along the center part of that.
And that's second division that should do that.
Yeah, second division.
Do they have? Is that artillery going with them?
No, we're going to keep the artillery here for the moment. Actually, no. You're right. Take them along. Take them along. They're not doing anything here.
Okay.
Yeah, have third division fill into second division spot. The artillery will go behind the infantry.
Okay.
This is just a really bad position, honestly.
Where do you want the cavalry to go? And where are you going?
The cavalry should fall back to their original position Actually, no. Fall back to where 3rd Division currently is, on my right.
Rangers taking a while. All right, cavalry's falling back. Union
Very interesting play by the Union here.
Yeah, interesting. We'll see what they do when they see the cavalry retreating. So the Confederates are basically abandoning Missionary Ridge, not making a stand at all. They're just falling back.
Yeah.
But stuff on the right's done, so I'm going to start doing screenshots over there.
All right.
940.
So, okay. No combat on my side this turn.
Is Thomas separate, or is he still with Grant?
Thomas is separated back out.
Okay, I'll take him separately then. Where'd he go? Oh, there he is. I just can't read.
James, can the artillery of Granger fire on the units on top of the mountain, or is that way too far?
Where they're at, I think actually on the mountain the artillery had issues having depression below. So if they're too close, they can't hit them down below. If they moved up their artillery a bit closer, I think they could shoot up, kind of like howitzers almost. But they'd need to move a little bit closer than they are, because they're right now they're right at like over a mile away, and since they have to shoot up, it wouldn't hit anything. But if they moved it like to the creek or closer,
Okay, so
they could shoot up. There'd be a big penalty because they're like shooting at a 60-degree angle to
yeah,
get up high, but they could try.
probably have to dig that the cannons get higher.
Yep.
Okay, let's see.
Alright, I did all my screenshots. I'm gonna start getting orders.
I have to do mine.
Oops, wrong channel. Hey, you guys are being too loud. Alright. General Sherman. So, you ride ahead and catch up with the head of the column, Smith's 17th Corps, and then find a place on the ridge. Through the trees down below, you can catch with your spyglass the very tail end of some Confederate troops, maybe some artillery, marching down the road southward.
All right, well, time for some hot pursuit. Except not, that hot. We're just gonna, keep following them.
Okay, march down the road.
Yeah, and do I still hear the artillery fire, or?
Yes, it's a bit more muffled
Okay.
now that you're on the other side of the ridge, but yeah. And you're staying towards the head of the column?
Yep.
Okay. All right, General Hardy. As you watch from your hiding spot top of the column, you can see that the Union has formed column and is marching faster along the roads. You can also see, it's not on your screenshot, but there's movement to the northeast. Um, both Hindman and Cheatham are on their way as ordered. And that's about it.
The big question here is, are they trying to come across the ridge, or are they just going to turn south? Did you say that there's activity to the northeast?
Correct. East of the ridge.
East of the ridge. Near Mrs. McGill?
Yep.
Oh. Okay. Well, no change to the orders. I'm gonna stay here one more turn.
Okay.
Everybody keep advancing towards Lookout Mountain, according to the routes that we set up.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, General Thomas, I've got you now. Did I give you a head screenshot? I did. I think I forgot to do dispatches, though. Hold on. Where's Granger at? Oh, he's over there. Okay. Alright, so your artillery continues to fire. You can see Geary's 12th Corps advancing southward. The Confederate line of dismounted cavalry has remounted and is heading south. They've abandoned the Chatanooga Creek defense, and the artillery fires on them as they leave and then are lost from sight. What are your orders?
Splendid. I will continue to have Gary move to form along Chattanooga Creek, along with pushing up the 2nd Division from Hooker to do the same. And we will hold position thereafter, waiting on everybody else to reinforce.
So just form up along the
Yep.
creek, facing west.
Yes, sir. Facing east. We're able to spot the rebel infantry now, so we know where they generally are.
Okay.
Or would it rather be facing south? Really, that's the orientation we're going for.
Okay, got it. You staying where you're at?
I'll move over closer to Hooker, see if I get a better eye on that enemy position.
Okay. Janet, can you help fix it, please? Emily, can you help fix it? I'll be back in a sec. Did you move? Is Palmer riding way ahead of his column?
Yeah, he is intentionally riding way ahead of his column, yes.
About to come under artillery fire. I guess well,
If he would he spot infantry before being fired upon by artillery?
um,
They are in like lightly wooded area from what I can
yeah,
tell.
we'll be nice and let him, in his screenshot, show some of the infantry sitting there.
All right. Uh, is Thomas still not advancing?
He's advancing on one flank, but not.
Interesting.
Not too much combat yet. It's still. I didn't think it would be, but it's been a game of maneuver so far.
It has been, yeah. I expected there to be much more fight over Missionary Ridge.
Yeah, I mean it's a good place to make a stand. I think they're trying to be tricky. I'm not sure what the trick is yet, but
We'll see when it happens, if it does happen.
I mean if they were super tricky, they could form up Hindman right here and have him come over the ridge on the flank of Palmer as he's going south.
Yeah.
I mean Hardy's there. He'll see it coming, so maybe he'll make it happen. I don't know.
Yeah, that's why I was wondering if that was going to happen, because Hardy's in a pretty perfect position to just watch an entire Union column.
Yeah, coming down into his potential trap.
Yeah. Okay. Grant has it. Palmer has it. Let me know when you're about to start doing screenshots, because I got to move Grant over to Sherman.
Well, if it's in the east, we can do them. I think.
All right.
Sherman. So you got,
I can do Thomas if you'll take Grant, since he's co-located with Sherman.
yeah, that works.
All right.
Okay. Well, how should I handle this one here? James?
What?
Oh, yeah,
Ooh,
Ooh.
combat.
like,
Just have them form line and start shooting at each other.
this will be very inefficient. Hmm. Up on you. Charts.
Alright, I'm gonna go start getting orders.
All right.
Decisive maneuver down south and end up not holding the ridge up here. So go ahead and make sure that you
Alright,
go ahead and hold on to it and clear out them rebels. What you've been seeing.
gentlemen, Sherman, the forward pickets from 12th Corps report that a rebel column was spotted marching southeast. And you can still. The sound of artillery fire to the west has decreased, though you can still hear it occasionally.
Southeast.
What the hell are these people doing?
All right.
Hey, James, if there were a straight line going ahead of those rebels that we just heard about, what on the map would it go through? I mean, southeast?
It'd go.
I mean,
It'd
are
head
they
towards
heading toward?
Chickamauga Creek.
You mean southwest?
No, southeast.
Oh, that little creek off in the distance.
There's a lot of Chickamauga creeks around here. Okay. I think. All right. So,
Heading back to the
Let me just-
battlefield you fought on a month ago.
Okay.
all right. So, yeah, I mean, so what you're doing is the right thing to do. Just, I'm. This is so weird that I'm worried about some sort of weird trick or trap. So please just be cautious. Make sure that at the end of the day, we are definitely in position on this ridge. Don't risk that unless you're really sure that that it isn't really a serious risk, or unless you're sure that we can back us a whole Confederate army by doing it.
All right. Well, based on that, I am going to. I want my men to take that fork back up into the lower of the lower sort of prong of the fork heading southwest. I'd like to send troops up that way to occupy Missionary Ridge with those guns, and then I'd like to split off another couple divisions to go with me southeast and pursue.
That sounds very sensible.
Grant, are you staying here? Where are you going?
I'm gonna get. Okay, so Granger is on the other side of Lookout Mountain. Is that correct?
That's
where he started.
Okay. I'm gonna go back. No, I'll go back to where the actual fighting is. So this turn I'll visit Palmer on the way to getting back to Thomas the next turn.
Okay.
Will that work?
Sure. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, General Hardy. You are in a spot, so you can see the Union 14th Corps marching along the road just west of the ridge, heading south, and you've spotted also the vanguard of Sherman's Corps, the 17th, also heading south along the east side of the ridge, and you actually spot General Grant with them. Um, yep. What are your orders? And you're muted.
So did you say General Grant is on the east side of the ridge?
Yep.
Interesting. Well, I am going to run like hell to follow on with Hinman's division heading south.
And Hindman, what were his orders? Was he supposed to
Hinman.
deploy behind Buckner, or how is he supposed to form up?
Yeah, I hadn't decided yet because I figured he wasn't that close yet. Is he already? Is there going to be a traffic jam soon?
If he didn't have orders, then you'll find out soon.
All right. I'm going to have Buckner form up. So where Walker's position, the far south position, where near Rossville town there, I want Buckner to take the road through Roberts Farm and form up on the left side of Chatanooga Creek.
Okay.
And I want Hinman to join him, setting up a line on the left side of Chattanooga Creek. They probably want to do like a double line.
All right.
Thank you. And yeah, we're running like hell. Actually, you know what? Scratch that last one on Hindman. I want him to I want Buckner to actually go to the crossroads at Chattanooga Valley, south of Breckenridge's positions.
Got it. Thank you.
But Hinman will position himself like we discussed on the west side of Chattanooga Creek.
Okay.
Thanks for allowing the correction there.
Sure. It's just a second courier to chase after the first.
Oh, you're a fast rider.
What's Sherman up to?
He's taking his orders are to secure the ridge, and I think he's going to split his forces, some to chase and some to secure.
I see.
What is Palmer heading towards? Disaster? What's he doing?
Palmer, potentially.
I think this artillery would start firing.
It probably would, yeah.
Chinleaf, you want someone to play with? Oop, nothing.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm a bit late. You
Yep.
need help, or I can spectate.
Well, we'll always take help if you want to take someone.
Sure.
I just promoted you, so you got to pick a color.
It only let me pick gray, so
Hold on, let me add a color. Need more hands. Alright, now you can pick blue or orange or pink.
oh. Okay.
So why don't you take Thomas, if that's alright?
Son. Where is he?
He's right here. You know how to do screenshots and movements and all that?
I'll just gotta read the system for a bit.
Okay, hang on. Oh,
Hello.
Tournaments for 15 minutes, right?
We're doing 20-minute turns.
20 minutes this time.
Is he starting to cross the creek now with Hooker?
Yeah, he's starting to ford the creek, or attempting to cross, yeah.
James, I have a question on if an artillery can fire. You see my green line there?
Oh,
Can
can they shoot at that? Probably not.
Okay, I thought as much, but I wanted to clarify.
Yeah, that's kind of around the ridge.
Okay.
And
The other thing what now will happen is those 4 Union infantry will assault columns away forward.
Okay. Just do double dice and start rolling for it.
Yes. And the
I guess that
Confeds get
artillery's.
a free shot if I remember the rules correctly. And
Yeah.
okay, let's get rid of all that gunsmoke. Copy.
So Chinley, if you know how to do screenshots and whatnot, you kind of see in Thomas's channel what he's been able to see before.
I was muted. Is there a ruler where I can measure how far a unit goes per turn?
Yeah, if you hold down tab, it should give you the grid length, which 10 grids is 1 mile. Where's your hand at? Yeah, you got it.
Wait.
Would you update? Yeah.
You mean 10 centimeters?
if you go into hover over the little line with a down arrow, on the left side of your screen, it should pop out a little sub menu. Click on the units until it changes to grid.
We just lost
Met.
Langbart.
Yeah, lost connection with TTS. I have no idea why, because we clearly are talking.
Weird.
Could I hand Breckenridge to Chinleaf?
Well, we just gave him Thomas, but we could do that instead. Yeah, we can do that. So Chinleaf, why don't
Well, I mean,
you take Breckenridge, who's here? Did you already roll for the
sure.
combat?
Yes, let's. But it got disconnected while I was updating that first result.
So one's
So
broken.
this one
Oh,
gets
you're back.
out of the way now.
And that one keeps fighting. Or we'll fight next time.
And let's they get a disruption for the fleeing unit.
So I have Breckenridge, correct?
You'll take Breckenridge now.
Should I do the second charge already, as they are right next
No,
to each
it's
other?
pretty narrow. It take a while to. Yeah,
Okay.
just leave it.
Okay. And let's get one artillery shot in to the side.
Are Breckenridge's orders resolved? Just asking.
As of this turn, yes, they are.
Okay, so I just have to take the screenshot and then give him the update, right?
Correct. Once they finish their rolling and stuff.
Yes.
James, am I good to take screenshots for the east?
Yep, that's what I'm doing. And then Grant, you got Grant again. He's heading
I have
west.
Grant again.
Yeah, he's kind of on his own. He wanted to co-locate with Palmer, but I don't. He wanted to do it on the way to Thomas, which Palmer's not really on the way, so I put him on his own.
Gotcha.
And then I guess I'll take Thomas back again.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll do Thomas.
are these markers lying over here?
1 second. They're probably just extra markers to grab as needed if it's by the timer.
I mean, I don't have anything resolved, so wouldn't be a problem if I deleted it, right?
Which ones are you talking about?
Once you see these ones.
Oh, those are damage markers.
Yeah, leave them on them.
That's and as long as they're moving, they don't get reduced.
Yeah, we're using them to track morale. Did you do your screenshot for Breckenridge already? Chinleaf.
Oh, those are full searching. Okay, let's see these. Yeah, I'm just gonna make my screenshot for Breckenridge.
Okay, I'm gonna start getting my orders. Alright, General Sherman. So, you reach the next fork in the road and send Smith heading up towards the ridge. While you stay at the fork, I guess, to direct traffic how you want it to go. Yep. What are your orders?
So I realized that I was thinking about pursuit, but I feel like that ship is actually probably starting to have sailed. So I would like to go up to the highest point on the ridge that I can get access to and kind of survey the battlefield. And I'd like all of the infantry to um, proceed. Uh, where is I got this dispatch? Where is Rossville? I don't.
It's south.
My map is not very high res.
It's kind of
Well,
in the. There's a gap in the ridge, right at the bottom end of Missionary Ridge.
oh, is that's Rossville?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Um. hmm. Okay. Yeah. I'll have these two units. And that gun go up to the top of Missionary Ridge, take a position, and report back if they see anything. I will direct the rest of the forces in a in a southeastward direction, following the road that way.
Okay. And you're still going up to the ridge to get a view. Was that a yes? Sorry, I didn't hear.
Yes, yes. Sorry.
All right. All right, General Thomas, you head a bit southwest to meet with Hooker. Hooker's line is starting to cross the creek and advance towards the rebel position. Um, your guns are still trading fire with some rebel guns on a hill to the southwest, and as you get southwest, you can see and hear a giant skirmish going on right alongside the Tennessee River. It looks like Granger's Corps is in a heavy melee fight with the rebels there. Um, Geary reports that he's deploying along the east side of the Chatanooga Creek as ordered, and that he can hear artillery fire to the southeast. What are your orders? You there?
Yes, I am here. Let's see. Hooker will continue the advance in full. Church and Burnett are to continue to try advancing into a position in front of Hooker. And Gary is to continue forming up along Chattanooga Creek.
Okay. And you said Church and who were supposed to do what? Oh, Church and Burnett. Where are they supposed to go? J-Rock?
Oh, it muted again. To continue going south to get in front of Hooker.
Oh, okay, I see. Okay, you're staying here?
To continue along with Hooker.
Got it. Alright, thank you. Alright, General Hardy.
Good day.
So you reach the outskirts of Rossville where Walker is there on a hill, small hill. As you're arriving, you hear artillery fire, and as you look north with your spyglass, you could see a column marching down the road, now falling under artillery fire. To your west is Walker's division, or deployed. You can see Bruckner is marching west as ordered, and Hindman is just now arriving in Rossville. Um, that's about it.
All right. This isn't looking too bad. Buckner and Heineman shall continue to follow their orders. I would like to send a message to Cheatham.
Oh, I forgot.
Now,
Sorry,
yep.
Buckner reported that he ran into Armstrong's cavalry all over the road to the west, which was slowing his movement.
Oh, son of a gun. I wondered why he was still there. Oh, gee whiz. I hope he gets them out of the way. That's all I can say. They need to keep heading by whatever path they can make. The intent is for them to pass south of that ridge, just to their west, across the creek. But I do want to get a message to Cheatham to get a real move on, unless he wants to get shot up by Ulysses' Corps and Sherman's Corps.
Okay.
So you should make all haste towards Rossville. I'm going to stay put and observe this fight.
Okay. You want Walker's men hold position as they are?
Yeah, I want them to. They're doing what they need to do. They're protecting this crossroads so the troops can redeploy.
And Hindman's still going west on the road? Or west?
Yes, I intended for Hindman to take up a position on the opposite side of Chatanooga Creek. But whenever they get a chance to do that, I also want them to not obstruct the road in doing so.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Alright. Time for some artillery fire.
Oh boy.
James?
Yep.
The artillery of Granger wants to engage in counter battery fire to the top of the hill from their new position. I would say that's doable with -1.
Yeah. Which, and artillery is already -1, so -2.
Yes, that was with the intention.
And it's -1 for the distance. So basically, they need a 6 to do anything.
Yeah, they don't do anything, but they make a lot of noise.
Big boom.
Are you rolling for these cannon here?
Yes, I have.
Okay.
They try to stop the assault column with all they have.
Okay.
Now, Let's get the screenshots going.
I'm not going to deliver anything from Thomas to Granger until that blockade is lifted.
Yeah, that sounds good to me. I really couldn't see that far. Give him the smoke.
Big screenshot now.
Yep. How's it going, Chinleaf? You got a hang of it?
I think he had to go AFK for a second.
Someone covering Breckenridge then?
Yeah,
I guess who had it? Langbart, you gotta take Breckenridge again until we're sure
I can.
Chinleaf is back.
Lord. Please, Discord, load things I must copy.
Too much. This.
I have a dispatch to Wheeler who is nobody. Who's commanding Wheeler? Is it Bragg?
Um.
I guess.
Basically, yes, Rec is doing that, but I say they only get the dispatch now, basically. So 10:40.
Why did he go there? Hang on. What's his ass grant? Huh. You know, curious. Okay.
Alright, I'm gonna go get my orders. It's 10:40.
Right.
Alright, General Sherman. You get to the top of the ridge where you can now see over to the west side and the tail end of Palmer's 14th Corps column marching south. The two divisions, Smith's two divisions, have arrived close to the ridge and are deploying as you requested, and the rest of the column is continuing southeast as ordered. The sound of artillery fire to the south-southwest is growing.
Okay. I would like those two divisions to basically set themselves up and occupy good defensive positions on the ridge with the guns. I myself am going to be leading, well, not like physically leading, but behind the first division, leading the rest of the army to Rossville on the east side of Missionary Ridge via roads at as quick a pace as they can comfortably maintain.
Okay. So there's a fork in the upcoming road. You can either turn west or east to get there. Which
Yeah, I'd like to go I'd like to go west to get there. Not staying on the east side if
yeah.
that's possible. Yeah.
Okay. And the whole rest of the column's going that way. Okay. Okay, Grant, caught up to you. Alright, so Hooker's corps is advancing south. As you get further south, you can get a better view of the fight between Granger's corps to the southwest. And you can see and get reports from the east that Geary's still deploying east of the creek. The artillery that you just passed by, the men are pretty exhausted from shooting for 2 hours, but you got the reserve artillery moving up to take their place. And Confederate artillery on the hills to the south are still bombarding you as you're marching towards them. Orders?
Oh,
Yes, the 3rd Division from Hooker is to continue to advance into contact with the rebels. And 2nd Division will fall in behind 3rd Division as their reserve. Obviously, Church and Burnett are to continue to advance to get in front of Hooker before he gets in engagement range. And Gary is just to continue to form along the creek in the meantime.
Looking for 11th Corps, 2nd Division. Where is it? Oh, there it is.
They should be just above Gary's men, yeah.
That's just one brigade. Is that right?
2.
Where is the second one? 2nd Division. Oh, they got separated. Okay. I'll fix that. Alright, and then the reserve artillery deploy and start shooting? Or what are they doing?
Yes. Once they are in range and have clear shots on the enemy, they are to deploy and start shooting.
Okay, and you guys are going where?
I'm remaining with Hooker's advance.
Okay, and Grant?
yeah, I'll stay here.
Thank you. Alright, General Hardy.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back.
The enemy has started deploying, as far as you can see. Artillery continues to pepper them. The columns moving west is ordered, albeit slowly. Buckner sends another dispatch back saying the roads are quite clogged with cavalry.
My God. Hopefully my dispatch to Wheeler went through this traffic jam. I'm desperate for him to get out of the way.
And you want Buckner's heading where? South of the
I wanted Buckner
down the
at the
Chatanooga Valley.
crossroads. Exactly, yeah.
Okay.
For now, I need Walker to make a small attack on the Union division that's after us right now.
Are you staying here?
Yeah. Did we send a message to Cheatham to hurry the heck up?
Yep.
Okay. He's gonna just hurry. We're straight into a traffic jam. You know what? Can you put me on? Can I try to go up the slope a little bit to see if I can get a look up the road that runs up the east side of Missionary?
You going to the north slope or the south slope?
So, directly northeast of my position, there's the ridge there, the Missionary Ridge, right? That's kind of where it ends.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, can I kind of move northeast a little bit up the slope of that ridge to try to get a look down the road that runs north-south on the east side of Missionary Ridge?
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, thanks.
All right, thank you. Now we're getting some combat.
Yeah.
Let's see. Artillery at canister range. 6. We got woods in between, so that's 4. That's 2. That's now the rebels are fighting in all the unfavorable terrain.
Yeah.
That was
Yeah, and I am very surprised at how quickly they gave up Missionary Ridge. So it's very entertaining to watch, though.
yeah.
See, the real question is how long until Sherman arrives, and will he ever arrive?
Yeah, he's kind of dithering around. We got a lot of Confederate artillery.
Okay, let's.
So Langbart, basically the line is here. So
Okay.
you got everything west of that.
Would you take those cavalry, or then I can focus on that
Yeah, I'll do
pick me.
cavalry. I'm done. So scout from Watkins Farm to Gilmore Lemon Spring.
And re-promote me, please, again, because I lost connection again. I have no idea what my TTS is doing tonight.
Promote. All right. Scout from Watkins Farm to Gilmore and Lemon Spring. All right, someone help me find Watkins Farm. Oh, there's Watkins.
Watkins.
And where's Gilmore
Gilmore.
and Lemons?
Lemon Spring is here. Gilmore Spring is here.
Oh, well, there's not much to scout. It's we got. Let's see. I guess these guys would be deploying. Run into the artillery.
Very fun.
Is that all of Wheeler supposed to be doing that? We'll just send Armstrong. Make contact with Hardy and screen his movement to Lookout Mountain. Alright, we'll just deploy. 11 o'clock. They've been playing around so much, we may not get to anything too decisive. We'll see.
Okay. I think I'm done with my side.
Okay. I'm doing
Got
screenshots.
Screenshots.
I think Chinley for you back. 1040.
So this was sent at Gilmore Springs. That's a pretty clear line back to Smith. Where's Sherman over here?
Do you want to take Thomas again since he's with Grant?
Yeah, I can.
Okay. I'll let you do screenshot and all that.
Alright. Now I gotta send Sherman his screenshot. Alright.
So I still have Breckenridge.
Yeah.
Believe so, yes.
Alright. Going to get orders. Alright, General Sherman. So, you rejoin the head of your column and lead them southwest at the fork to kind of follow along the base of the ridge over hilly terrain, hilly forested terrain as you make your way south. The two brigades you leave behind deploy as ordered. What are your orders? Keep it on the road, or
Yeah, we continue marching. Heading to Rossville along the east side.
yeah, so stick to the east side of the road. Okay. You may have the marching simulator award of the game.
Yes. Yes, I have. I was not expecting this. I thought this would be a pretty fierce fight from the
Well,
get-go.
yeah, I'm surprised the Confederates didn't try to hold Missionary Ridge at all.
I don't really understand why they wouldn't. I mean, we basically won the battle by them not holding it in some sense.
Yeah.
Oh.
Alright. I think that's it. Thank you. Alright, General Hardy.
I am here. Hello.
Alright, so you make your way up to the ridge, which affords you actually a pretty good view, both east and west. You can see the battle has opened up heavily to your west, and you actually get a pretty good view of the enemy disposition. You can see now that Cheatham is arriving on the eastern road, and Buckner's starting to pick up speed as he's heading west.
Okay, so there's folks are moving along now.
Mm-hmm.
I think we got to keep marching. I need Walker to keep blocking this crossroads. I don't care if Buckner and Hinman need to go off road to get around friendly forces. They need to keep moving. I cannot be trapped in this area.
Okay. And
So
then, yeah.
Cheatham needs to pass. Hindham is going to set up on the left side of the creek, and Cheatham needs to pass through his lines along the road.
So Heineman's not following Buckner. He's just deploying on the left side of the creek.
Correct.
Okay.
He's going to block any advance by the Union across the creek from the northeast. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, right now I want Walker and Hinman to basically protect this road so Cheatham can continue to follow Buckner.
Got it.
And is this Buckner's artillery in front of me? Did they get left behind to fight?
Looks like they did. Yep.
Uh, they're gonna have to stay there for now, I think. How long does it take for them to limber? Do they take a long time to move out if we
5 to
get
10.
an emergency?
5 to 10 minutes.
Okay. All right. Let them keep shooting for now. They're doing good work.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
In line, and then the artillery bombard, and then yeah, the third division continues as is for now.
All right. What do you need, James?
Nothing. I'm just listening.
All right. Understood. All right. I believe that is your turn. I will come back to you next turn. Thank you.
Been interesting so far, James?
Very interesting. Very unexpected.
Yeah, I'll say so. I didn't expect to have to march this far south to see action.
You think you're winning or losing, or?
I haven't heard much from anywhere else, but I think I'm in a good position here to at least win locally, from what I've heard. And from what I know as far as like friendlies in the immediate area.
Yeah. All right.
But we'll have to see.
Back from my toilet break. So
Okay.
I see that Breckenridge is already dealt with, so can I be assigned another person instead?
Well, you can take him back from Langbart after this turn.
I was thinking I could take Blair or Smith.
They're not a player.
They're not players. Okay, okay. Oh, what can I take then?
Breckenridge.
Breckenridge. Okay, okay.
James, where I just pinged, the 1st Brigade of the 3rd Division of the 11th Corps just moved right through its artillery as it was limbering. You probably want to put a disruption on there, or 3.
Okay. On the artillery or the?
Whichever. Probably both, honestly.
Oh, well, then that might be enough to break because it was getting shot at. What was it? Just pulling back?
Yeah.
Well, that will be nice. Okay.
Alright.
Okay, James, I need a re-promote again. I got disconnected
Oh.
again.
Oh my god. Man. And it's not even a networking issue because you're still in Discord perfectly
Yes,
fine.
I have no idea what the problem today is. It's just weird sometimes.
Yes.
That's not good for the Union.
Ooh, that is very not good indeed.
Like what? How much they take damage here? And as
Is combat in the East resolved, James?
Yep.
Thank you.
Is Grant still with Thomas?
He has moved over to spectate this situation over here.
Okay, I'll take
He'll be
Thomas
in the-
then. Again.
All right.
uh,
And Chinleaf, you got Breckenridge now? You with us, Chinleaf?
Finleaf, are you with us? Give us a sign.
He was talking to us earlier, but I guess keep Breckenridge if he doesn't respond. Langbart.
Right, 2
Hey,
Thomas from.
okay, yeah, I do my best.
Yeah.
That's all right. Palmer, that'll be here,
Okay, I'm getting yours.
here.
All right, General Sherman. The march continues. You can hear the sounds of battle, small arms fire plus artillery, just over the ridge to your southwest. Starting to sound pretty close.
Oh, thank goodness.
about
I am so excited to hear that at this point. I will start singing John Brown's Body as we march along, preparing to, get into it as soon as we get around this ridge or down this ridge to where the enemy is. So yeah, just keep marching.
Okay. Got it. Thank you. Grant, you are not here anymore. You are by yourself. All right, General Thomas. Let's see. So, 1st Brigade from 3rd Division pulls back with heavy casualties, pulling behind the artillery, which is unlimbering and starting to fire. The 2nd Brigade also advances and is trading fire with the enemy. And Barnett's reserve artillery is also fully in action now, blasting the enemy's position. You get a report from Geary that his men are engaged with rebel cavalry firing across the creek, and that he has linked up with the right flank of Palmer's corps. And I think that's about it. Orders.
Awesome. Uh, yeah, that one brigade between Burnett and Gary are to continue holding that flank to protect Burnett. I believe that 2nd Division that I held in reserve for Hooker,
Mm-hmm. Yep.
they're to get behind the 2nd Brigade. I assume that's the 2nd Brigade in the center.
Yeah.
Once they're behind the 2nd Brigade, they are to push for a full assault and melee straight at the enemy.
Okay.
And that would be my only other orders.
All right. Got it. Thank you. Who else do I have? All right, General Hardy.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. So you continue to watch the fight from your vantage point. Kind of hard to say who's winning or losing, but Walker's line is holding, and far to the west you can see Hindman deploying, and Cheatham's making his way west. And that's about it.
All right, we're gonna change of plans, I think.
Okay.
I want Cheatham to turn south and start advancing off-road with the intention of basically forming a line from the Rossville Gap to the creek, farther south from Rossville. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And I want him to take all the artillery on hand with him. I want him to take Buckner's artillery. If Walker will allow it, I'd like him to take Walker's artillery. And I'd like Walker to put one brigade to block the Rossville Gap.
Okay.
Then I want Buckner to basically wait southwest of Hindman. So if he's at the crossroads, he should come back a little ways. I want him kind of on the east face of the ridge near Chatanooga Valley, behind Hindman to the southwest.
Hold on. You want Buckner to deploy south east of Hindman?
Southwest.
Southwest. Okay.
Behind, basically in reserve behind Hindman.
Okay.
And then I want Cheatham to start. Basically, he's going to form a line, ideally abreast with Buckner's new position, but on the south side of the creek, facing the Union that's attacking us right now.
Okay.
Basically, the intention is I'm expecting Walker's troops to become overwhelmed. I want Cheatham to be formed up to the southwest to be able to block the follow-up Union attack when they break, and block any troops that may pass through the Rossville Gap in the near future.
All right. And where are you going?
I don't think I'm safe here anymore, so I'm gonna go to Roberts. Nope, I'm gonna follow Cheatham to his new position.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
He should at least be lined up behind that little creek there, farther southwest, even if possible.
Okay.
Thanks.
Time for combat.
Okay, let's see what I have to do here. Um, let's see. Those attack. Atmos.
Breaking.
Um, cavalry charge. Cavalry charge.
Langbird, I would like to take a Breckenridge next turn.
Okay. And, problem. That one here.
Wow. Hate it when it turns to a ruler when you didn't tell it to.
Yeah.
Are these guys charging the artillery?
Yes. Infantry is charging and cavalry is charging, and the other two infantry are preparing to attack
They
that
are fresh.
to the north there.
Dang it, did it again.
So let's see what else is those.
Lots of artillery fire. It's been quite the fight along that little narrow
Yep.
riverside trail.
Yeah.
They have invented the phalanx again.
It's the Battle of Thermopylae.
Yeah.
It basically is.
It really is.
That's funny.
I need a wounded marker. On here.
I think we got time for 2 more rounds, and then we'll call it wherever it stands. I'm done with combat in the east if you want to start doing screenshots.
Okay.
All right.
1140.
Would somebody take Bragg because he's now moving to the east? He's trying to reconnect with Hardy.
Oh, yeah, I'll take him.
Let's get a shot. Chinleaf, you have Breckenridge?
I wouldn't count on him. I'd just take it.
Because he just told me that he wants to do this turn, so
Chinleaf,
I'm
you can't be
asking him
muted.
if he has it.
Let's see.
And you're muted, Chinleaf, if you're talking.
I'll just take it. Alright. I gotta do Sherman still.
James, you still have Thomas?
Yeah.
Cool.
So I'll get to updating Breckenridge.
Yeah, go ahead and update him. Alright, I'm going to get orders. Alright, General Sherman. So, your forward pickets send back a report that they have spotted rebel infantry. They are guarding the Rossville Gap. They spotted artillery moving south along a road, and that they can see Palmer. The rebels are heavily engaged with Palmer's Corps just over the ridge to the west of your current position. And you can hear the fighting that they mention.
Yeah. All right. Awesome. Let's get everyone moving down to that sort of triangular crossroads. And then we'll form up and we will engage. Try to cordon off the gap so that they can't move through it and attack forward into their lines.
Got it. Thank you. Alright, General Thomas. So, mixed bag of results this last turn. So, the 2nd Brigade in the center starts to break as the enemy pushes hard on them. But you do manage to break one of the enemy's brigades. But on your left, to the east, there's a heavy assault and charge into 1st Brigade's reserve artillery, and the enemy is able to reach them and overtake the guns. Also, 3rd Brigade under 3rd Division, which Grant seems to be ordering around, is fighting, or moving to repulse that charge to the far east. To the southwest, you can see the ongoing heavy melee battle where just along the river's edge at the base of the mountain. And that's about it. What are your orders?
I will have the 2nd Division, Hooker's 2nd Division, divert a brigade to engage the Confederates that just took over Burnett's cannons, and have the other one form up to receive the Confederate infantry coming into center.
Okay.
And they will just establish the position and hold firm.
Got it. All right, thank you. Oh, also, Geary reports his line is holding. Um, that's about it.
Splendid.
Okay, thank you.
But
All right. Generals Bragg and Hardy, they finally meet. So you can see Cheatham as his corps or division moving south as ordered to form a new line of defense. Hindman's also deployed to the northwest. Walker's division still holding, but he says they may break soon. And he also says that his pickets have spotted Union activity to the east of the Rossville Gap.
Of course. Yeah, or Walker. I'm sorry for him, but he's doing a great job for me. I want Cheatham to head south a bit more. I like what he's doing. I want him to go just a bit further. And I want him to pull his left hand division, his left hand brigade into reserve. In fact, basically, I want to create a reserve to make a gap in the line in order for Walker's troops to fall back through that gap. So I don't know if that means do a double line, put one brigade into reserve, just do something to give Walker space to get out.
Okay.
And Cheatham, after he maneuvers maybe to the other side of that little creek there, he needs to turn around and get ready to fight off whatever comes through that gap.
Okay.
all right.
I also, any word on Buckner? Is he moving?
Yeah, he acknowledged the receipt of your orders, and courier says he's heading back.
Okay, because like part of my intent is like I would love to create enough space for at least one or two of Buckner's divisions to be able to counterattack across the creek. Kind of, if Cheatham's holding a line, then Buckner's guys are coming and kind of sweeping across it where there's a gap between Hindman and Cheatham. That's my hope. So that will require space and that will require them climbing over the creek, but that's kind of where I'm going with this.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna ride back to Breckenridge's position. The the reconstituting troops from Breckenridge that I can see behind the crossroads. Stop and check on their condition, if possible. Lead them back north towards his position to put them back in the fight. And hopefully things are going decently up there. Although God knows.
All right. Got it. Thank you.
They finally managed to get down the hill, but the artillery is getting exhausted.
Not
So,
very good.
give some, take some.
Mm-hmm.
But they probably will hold that area.
Probably. There's only like one turn after this, right?
Yep.
Ah, hi. Yeah, those Confeds units keep pushing.
Oh, that is nasty.
You mean that flanking maneuver?
Yeah.
Or what?
Well, I'm
Okay.
just talking about, yeah, Sherman and then they're also starting to crumble on that line. Luckily, it seems that Hardy's formed a second line back here behind this creek, which is definitely a good idea.
Yes, the Confederates having a good defensive fight here.
They're doing very well, I will say. Or at least.
I will get myself a screenshot for my Union player already. Genevieve, be ready to take your screenshot as soon as James is finished.
Yeah.
Then you can have the last turn. But don't tell them that it's the last turn.
Yeah. Let's see, they're not going anywhere.
This is one.
Lots
Interesting.
of rolling. Let's see, 2. Okay. Done. 12 o'clock.
Convenient time to end.
It's 4 hours. That's not bad. Let's see. So we'll do screenshots, take orders, run the combat, and then we'll bring everyone in. So this is the last screenshot we'll be doing.
Genevieve, you have it for Breckenridge? Yes.
Oh, and Bragg's back on his own. Alright, General Sherman, finally you have combat. 3rd Brigade of the 2nd Division has deployed and is engaging with the Union Brigade to your west which is guarding the gap. You can hear Palmer's Corps not far to the north, including artillery, which seems to be supporting you. So you don't expect the rebels to stand long. The rest of the columns continuing to arrive and starting to deploy, and that's it.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna keep engaging. I want the divisions to be lining up as they arrive, posting a watch to the east, and in all directions as we get there. But lining up a good reserve, and then once that reserve is in place, just because I'm not sure exactly of the timetable of when that would be expected. Once the reserve's in place, I'd like the lead division to start pressing, knowing that we have that sort of backup there. So if they can press to a decisive action, they should do that.
Got it.
I'll maintain my position.
Okay. Thank you. All right, General Thomas. As you look to the south, it looks like the rebel line is breaking. You can see fleeing troops, at least to the southwest. The line is crumbling under your artillery fire. To the southeast, fresh troops are engaging with 2nd Brigade under 2nd Division and holding the center. Although it looks like further east, their line is breaking over there as well. The 1st Brigade under 2nd Division and 11th Corps has managed to recapture the guns. And Geary reports he's still engaged with rebel dismounted cavalry, but that they're falling back. What are your orders?
Wonderful. I will have Church's battery repositioned to better get fire on the rebels to the what is this orientation? North to south, as it's listed.
Yeah, south is down.
Basically get fire on the rebels holding up Granger's men to their right. I'll have Hooker's infantry advance in full to establish contact on the rebels fleeing or not fleeing. And Gary is to continue fending off the cavalry. And yeah, that'll be it for now.
Okay. Thank you.
Also, the battery in the back, I think that's Hooker's battery.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have that called up as well.
Okay. Thank you. All right, General Hardy. So, Cheatham's division continues deploying south below that little creek. You can see and hear from Walker that his division's starting to break and fleeing southward. Hindman sends a dispatch that he's engaged now with the Union pressing from the east. But he has Wheeler deployed on his left flank, and Buckner's deploying behind him.
That's not too bad. Walker should make a run for it. I really like Cheatham's position. I'd like him to curve his line a little bit. So it's kind of a little bit, instead of kind of curved towards the enemy, kind of curved more towards the Chatanooga Creek. I would just suggest to him to make that adjustment. And then prepare to defend his position. I'm going to go and ride up to meet Buckner. I'll probably get on the ridge behind Buckner so I can get a view of this entire area if possible.
Okay. What were Walker's orders again? Was he to hold or just fall back?
No, he's gonna make a run for it.
Run for it. Got it.
That's it, man. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Someone's getting brag, right? Someone has brag.
I don't.
Oh. Will you take him again? I think he got lost as he headed back west.
Okay, then I will shortly. As you see, all the artillery is to counter battery fire. And I will make a screenshot for him right now. That would be somewhat close in. There's a lot of things are going on. Where's my screenshot?
Advance.
Slocum's battery hold firing. They routed like 2 turns ago.
I'm not sure what he talked about. A lot of them didn't route. They just got tired. So if they were able to rest some, then they may have recovered. So, are they holding at Thermopylae?
Oh, the Confeds just won Thermopylae.
Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Like, they had a really, really good roll there.
I watched it. It was wild.
So it's noon. Just thinking, a good portion of Breckenridge's line is breaking, but they got reserves. Palmer's half spent.
There's the fresh reinforcements from Sherman, though, pouring in.
Yeah, Sherman's coming. Hardy's. I really can't. Well, so I think they'll make a good stand for the day, but they basically gave up all the good ground. So long term, they're going to have to abandon the position.
Yeah.
I think.
We'll be able to retreat in good
Yeah,
order.
Bragg
though.
also ordered basically a fighting withdrawal here, so...
Yeah, they and I think that was their goal. They kind of wanted to position themselves to retreat well without getting cut off, which they've done, but they won't be holding, so strategic defeat.
Tactical victory.
I think they'll
defeat.
stand to the end of the day probably, but then
Most
have to
likely.
withdraw long term.
And I definitely think that the Union will take some pretty awful. Well, this alone was already
Yeah.
abysmal casualties.
Yes. And they lost 2 batteries of artillery in the center. Like those are with good
Not easily
certainty
replaceable.
spiked at least,
Oh,
so they are damaged.
All right, let's bring
That's
everyone
not
to the lobby.
to the
Let's all go
lobby.
to the lobby. Nope, cancel.
Up. Here we go.
I don't know why I did that.
It's bound to happen.
Oh my.
You know it's that time.
Can't believe you guys almost killed me.
You're the one that rode up that mountain all by yourself. All right, we got everyone here. Yes.
Oh, yeah.
All right, let's do
All
our
right, we're done.
well done, everyone. Let's do our normal spiel of. Make sure you're muted. I'm hearing feedback from someone. Let's hear from the CICs just to see how they think they're doing before I reveal the big map. So we'll start with Grant on the Union side. What do you think?
I mean, I think that we're doing just fucking fantastic, right? So unless something has happened on Missionary Ridge since last I heard, we have the whole thing, right? Which already qualifies this as a substantial victory because nothing deeply terrible can be happening to us to the south. But it looks as though we have compressed the the rebels into a fairly small area that seems to be pretty well surrounded down there. Um, I mean, I don't know whether Palmer's flanking guys are going to be able to kind of entrap a large Confederate force, or whether they are making some progress and messing with our force a little bit. Whether if whether we're going to end up with a standoff down there. But territorially, I really feel like we won this thing. And if we could play out the next couple of hours of the main engagement down south, I'm not at all pessimistic. I mean, I don't think that would be a sure thing, but we've been puzzled the whole time that Missionary Ridge was just empty. And if Sherman found something out over on the east side of it, some eldritch horror, and I didn't get a dispatch about it, then maybe everything I've just said has turned out to be completely out of touch with reality. But I feel like we did really well. I'm very happy with our situation at this point.
All right, let's hear from General Bragg.
I have done the impossible. I have managed to be worse at something than Braxton Bragg was in real life.
Oh no.
All right.
Or you just role played correctly.
Yeah, if you do bad as Bragg, it's just roleplay. All right, let me show the map. So this is the current status as of 12:20. Yes, 12:20. So the rebels deploy. Interesting deployment for the rebels. They had one division on Lookout Mountain, but the majority of Breckinridge's wing was in this vicinity, and then Hardy was hidden behind the mountain, but not in line. He was in column formation, kind of here, with Walker down here, and so the Union. They had to. I limited the Union's ability to deploy, so I said they had to have a corps over here. So Granger was over here, and they had two corps in Chattanooga at least. So they had Thomas was commanding two corps over here, and then Palmer had I think one or two corps over here, and then Sherman was way up north, partially crossing the pontoon bridge. So Sherman.
That explains that explains why I was so confused about what was going on west of Lookout Mountain, because I had given an order to just put one brigade down there, but your rules required that Thomas do way more than that. So
Yep.
I understand now that situation.
So
I just hadn't read the rules closely enough.
No worries. So Sherman marched east unopposed and then came around the east side of Missionary Ridge and slowly made his way down. He won the Marching Simulator award of the game. Hardy, when he saw and heard that, he gave up the ridge, which I want to hear about that decision making later, and basically moved south to where he is now. On the west side, Langbart can talk better on the far west side what happened there. We had the Battle of Thermopylae here, which Langbart can talk about. And then in the center, Thomas was heavily attacking Breckenridge with losses and casualties on both sides. Here towards the end, so Breckenridge, Thomas has had a few units rout. Some artillery was overrun. He countercharged and has retaken it. Some of Breckenridge's units are breaking. Others are, catching back up. Walker has just his division broke, and so Palmer and Sherman are making their way here. But Hardy has a strong fresh reserve line here, and pretty fresh reserves here as well. And so, if we didn't get as far along in the battle as I thought we would, because there's a lot more marching and less holding than I thought there'd be. So there's a lot that's not conclusive, but we discuss it as umpires, and we think with Granger's corps broken, and still pretty fresh reserves in Hardy, we think that the rebels would probably hold till the end of the day, kind of this position in the valley between the two ridges. But by moving to where they are, they're in a good position to retreat, but they've basically given up all the good ground around Chatanooga. I mean, they no longer hold Missionary Ridge. And so strategically, they'll be forced to retreat south, which they'll be able to do, but they won't hold the position. So strategically, it's a loss. Tactically, a stalemate between the two, if we had to guess. So that's the outcome. I definitely want to hear from both sides what their plans were, especially the Confederates, and what their thinking was for the day, because we expected. I thought they would hold the ridge, which was a nice, strong defensive ground, and they didn't. So I'd like to hear about that. So let's hear from the umpires first, then all the players will have a chance. So working down the list, we'll start with umpire Chinleaf, if you're here. Are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
How was your experience, Chinleaf?
So I entered the game as an umpire like 1 hour before after it began. I woke up late because I was exhausted. I didn't really have much of a task to do except update Breckenridge from time to time. I was pretty slow because this is my first game umpiring, but I enjoyed the creation of Battle of Thermopylae just over here, and causing how the Confederates held against that many Union troops. But yeah, every player did good, in my opinion.
All right, thank you. Umpire Kaiser?
Hello. I was handling about 50-50 with Thomas, and then I also had Grant and Palmer. Again, another very fun umpiring experience. Very interesting, again, as you've mentioned, watching the abandonment of Missionary Ridge was in real time was funny. There was a part where Palmer and Hardy were basically marching side by side and didn't know it, which I thought was hilarious. And otherwise, a very interesting game, well fought by both sides. Again, Thermopylae is a highlight. I'm sure Langbart will talk all about that when his time comes.
Thank you. All right, Umpire Langbart.
Okay, then I will start. I had basically the Western Theater with the Big Mountain and Granger's Core. Granger was very surprised that he couldn't see any troops on the mountain at the beginning, and decided to take his cavalry and march up here. What that was Bragg's glorious moment where he could spring an ambush with his 3 units up here and wounded Granger, who then decided, yeah, that's not where I want to be, and retreated fast. That's where his one cavalry was really badly damaged. Then he went and attacked with all his units, basically started with the first division, moved them all over here, and then countered like 1 unit that was blocking that advance. Firefight ensued there, and then big assault column was formed with all the other units that came up. So we in the end had normally 6 Union units stacked behind each other, while the others were still moving along, and then some broke and got replaced. So on the Confed lines, it was the opposite. It always were fewer units. That's why we called it Thermopylae. But they had a lot of units, they were on this road and here in the back, that were fed up into the grinder here. And they also had this artillery unit and this artillery unit that both could fire into the flank of the attacking column. Granger tried to respond to that by forming his artillery down here and shooting at the artillery position on the ridge. That is obviously a very difficult shot to take, but they managed some hits. That's why they have a wounded marker on top of them. Well, otherwise, I also had Breckenridge for most of the game, and all my players did very well, and they started a counterattack here with I think it was Stewart division up to the north, and they even broke 2 artilleries. So that was good on their part. To the west, I can't speak. I was focused. To the east, I can't speak. I was only focused on the west.
All right. Thank you, Umpire Langbart. All right, let's hear from the players. So, working top down, we'll start with General Bragg. How was your overall experience?
So, the plan was to use Lookout Mountain as a giant lure by putting Breckenridge's and Wheeler's entire corps there, and to try to get the Union to think we'd gambled everything on Lookout Mountain, at which point get everyone moving towards us, pull you in on the position. We figured it was hard enough that we'd be able to at least hold our ground, at which point Hardy was supposed to pop up from behind Missionary Ridge and, at least in theory, recreate 2nd Manassas or Chancellorsville. Early on, when what I'm pretty sure was 14th Corps started marching out of Chattanooga straight at Missionary Ridge, as I understand it, Hardy got convinced that he wasn't going to be able to properly deploy enough to make the attack, and so we fell back on what was at least a quarter-baked plan to try to have him march all the way down through the Rossville Gap and reinforce the Lookout Mountain position. I did a very poor job and sat on my butt on top of Lookout Mountain, not doing much of anything except fussing about what General Palmer was going to do in the Valley to the West. And then I finally got off my butt, but Breckenridge's division was in a giant mess. Wheeler's cavalry, instead of being able to scout north like I wanted to, got trapped behind the river line and stopped Hardy's division from actually being able to cross the river, causing this giant, horrifying traffic jam. And I'm frankly shocked that this is at all looking as well as it did, because from my perspective, this is entirely FUBAR. And yeah.
All right. General Hardy.
Yeah, I guess to add to what General Bragg said, I agree with his assessment that we kind of set an abort surprise attack condition, whereby if the Union forces deployed too close to Missionary Ridge, which they did, that they'd be able to basically block the trails down the ridge, preventing us from getting out and making any kind of an attack. So that is why we um, uh, beat a hasty redeployment to the southwest. So, I mean, I think we kind of were under the assumption we were already outnumbered. We weren't feeling confident or strong that Bragg's position on Lookout Mountain would be able to hold out by itself if it was under significant attack by the Federals. So I think we just kind of made the early decision during the planning that, um, we would unite our forces and make sure that we fought concentrated in the event that we were not able to accomplish the surprise attack. I think my biggest disappointment of the battle was very early on. I hatched a plan to send basically march one of my divisions down the Missionary Ridge into the valley, right in full view of the Union, and then march them south to Rossville to make it look as though we were on Missionary Ridge and gave it up. Meanwhile, I still had a few divisions that I was going to try to still make that surprise attack. Unfortunately, um, General Buckner did not understand the orders, and instead of marching in full view of the Union Army, he just turned south and went on to Rossville. So once that happened, we kind of gave up hope that we had the strength to both protect our own flank on the ridge and launch the surprise attack. So we basically just stacked everything in and did the best we could to hold that gap between the mountain and the ridge. Um, yeah, I don't see that given the dispositions and the concentrations of force that the Confederates really had much chance at like significantly defeating the Union Army. I think we thought our best bet was be able to inflict enough casualties to get the Union to give up. I don't know how close we got to that, but I'm not. I don't have too much of a problem with the way things look at the end here. I think the Union forces on the east are really kind of bottled up on the wrong side of the ridge, and I don't see them being able to really contribute to this engagement, allowing us to put all of our forces into what's going on in the valley there. So I think it looks okay. It's not a smashing victory that we hoped for, but I tend to agree it was a stalemate, and I'm satisfied with that. It was such a fun game. Thank you.
I'm glad you enjoyed it. All right, General Thomas.
Okay. My forces with Hooker and Gary, along with Granger, were never meant to be of any consequence to this battle. I was going to push all that on to Palmer and Sherman. I had Granger set up over there instead of somebody else because I could have put Hooker there or somebody with lesser men, but I wanted him there because I knew I was going to recall him up that road, and I wanted the fear there for the rebels so they would reposition men to at least hold him up. But then I wasn't banking on him making it through. But if he did, it would be a huge headache for them. And I would just have to hold them with Hooker, all the core artillery, and Gary. And the reason I kept Gary in position was because I didn't know where their cavalry went. So he stayed along the creek to cover my flank. And I didn't begin the advance until I knew Palmer and Sherman had the all clear on the ridge entirely. Because I was just holding the creek for a while and just setting up until I knew I could continue forward. So yeah, the center was never meant to win anything. We were just going to hold the position. That's why when the counterattack happened, I wasn't really freaking out about it. I was just like, oh, okay. I mean, I don't have that much manpower left, but let's counter and still hold position. And I sent the message to Palmer. I was like, I need a division to outflank this position ASAP. And yeah, that was about it. Palmer and Sherman were supposed to win us today. And Granger was just a casualty of war. You know, he was always meant to be. I didn't tell him that though, but
All right.
yeah, sacrifices.
General Granger.
I definitely agree. I was a casualty of war. At least my corps was. It's pretty brutalized right here. Battle of Thermopylae is a pretty good description. But I tried to probe up the mountain, see if like maybe the rebels had deployed maybe further east, because there was no indication that they were there. So that was a pretty good surprise, and Bragg nearly bagged me. So nice work on that. I probably shouldn't have gone with them. And then I got orders to take this road or this railroad track really into this gap here, and it was just brutal. I mean, I don't normally like doing assault columns, but at this point, it was like this is the only tactic I can really do at that point. And so I thought, well, hopefully we were doing as much damage as to rebels as they are to us, but I don't really think that was the case. I think the rebels did a very good job holding us. I was tempted to try and make a really wide flank south, like off the map, and then to come up the mountain that way. Because I mean, I have no idea if there's a road that goes up there, but uh, it would have at least been unopposed potentially. But I got orders, so yeah. I think we did good. I think what we would have done afterwards with the battles, yeah, we probably wouldn't have kept the assault going. We would have back to into our original fortified positions and just kind of held for the rest of the day. So I don't think the rebels could have taken advantage of that, especially since they're pretty weak on the west side. But I don't think we could have helped with the rest of the day either. So nice work on holding that gap, whoever that was. Oh, and umpires, thank you so much for all you do. Appreciate it. Thank you so much.
General Breckenridge.
It's a nice segue from him because I'm the one who held that gap there. I did show up a little late. I'm very sorry about that. So I was kind of thrown into the middle of it, like a turn before the attack there started. It took me a few turns, to get a grasp on the situation. But yeah, but when the attack started, I remember writing to in a dispatch to the CIC, to just line up the guns on the ridge there, and we're going to shoot fish in a barrel. And that is exactly what happened there. I mean, I had a pretty perfect spot to place some artillery there to just fire in, and I had enough reserve infantry that I could just kind of set them there and forget about them when I turned back to the north. If I had known sooner how few forces there were in the north, I would have attacked a lot sooner before anybody could come to help outflank them, and I think I really could have captured the officers there. And that's another thing I wrote to him. I said I was going to serve up some Union prisoners on a platter to him, because that was a very thin force there. And I mean, you could obviously, there was the kind of immediate result there that I broke some infantry and artillery there with my assault column. At this stage, though, I don't think I could continue up that assault at all, because more of the Union forces have come in and started their assault. So I'll probably just try to slowly withdraw at this point.
All right.
But I'm pretty happy with how I did this game.
General Palmer.
Thank you. First of all, thanks for all the umpires, and Kaiser did a great job with my command, which was the 14th Corps, which started on the east side of Chattanooga. And as Hardy probably saw, I shot for Missionary Ridge pretty much instantly, within the hour of in-game time. Didn't find anyone, and then communication with Sherman basically indicated that there was no one on Missionary Ridge, and so started marching southwest on the western side of the ridge, and ended up not getting engaged really until I reached Rossville, which my 3rd Division started fighting Walker's Division, and definitely gave better than they got. All in all, I'm actually very, very pleased with how we look at the end. It looks terrible in the northwest and looks bad in the north. However, we have 3 corps basically that aren't really harmed yet. Sherman is completely fresh, and the entire point of this was to open up a gap basically for him to flank. And even though a flank probably isn't super possible at the moment, I'm in a good position to reinforce basically the line along Chattanooga Creek. And yeah, it's just I'm actually very pleased. I am very, very surprised that Missionary Ridge was absent or was abandoned, but managed to basically destroy a division before the end and start to push in the center from the east side. But all in all, happy with how it went.
All right, General Sherman.
I very much agree with a lot of what General Palmer said. I think um the decision to abandon Missionary Ridge is sort of a attempt to gain a tactical advantage at the expense of a broader sort of operational strategic goal, because as far as I know, by sort of confining the way in which they're going to retreat in the way that they have, they are probably in considerable danger of of not being able to really retreat back the way that they would operationally want to. Um, all that aside, I'm pretty happy with where I ended this. I think that these fresh troops coming in at the end would be a pretty big difference maker. And yeah, I mean, it was a lot of marching simulator. I didn't get to see a whole lot of anything ever, except the tail end of some guns once, which was a blissful sight. Um, yeah, no, I'm happy with how things went, and I think I am happy with our overall plan and how we executed it. Apart from, I probably wouldn't have pushed as hard in the West, but yeah. Other than that,
Me too.
All right. Well, it was a fun game. Fun map. Actually, I like this map more after this battle because there's a lot to it. But I appreciate everyone playing, and you're welcome to hang out and keep talking. But I'm going to finish the recording, and we'll see you next week at Castiglione.